they had brought in this phenomenal young man to speak, Ronnie McDonald. And as he was speaking and talking about sitting a spell, my mind went back just a few weeks before I had been asked to speak. And I'd been asked to speak about truth. And while I was putting my thoughts together, I'd come across an ancient proverb that an American poet about 100 years ago put into words. And it just resounded that everything he was saying was so important in my life and in our community. And this little poem tied it in so well as I thought about going out in the community and getting to know everyone and learning about each one of you and what we do. And the name of the poem is 6 Men of Hindustan. And it goes like this. It was 6 men of Hindustan, to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against his broad and sturdy side, at once began to bawl, "God bless me, but the elephant is very like a wall." The second, feeling of the trunk of the tusk, cried, "Oh, what have we here, so very round and smooth and sharp? To me, 'tis mighty clear, this wonder of an elephant is very like a spear." The third approached the animal, and happening to take the squirming trunk within his hands, thus boldly up and spoke, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a snake." The fourth reached out an eager hand and felt about the knee. What most this wondrous beast is like is mighty plain," quoth he. "'Tis clear enough the elephant is very like a tree." The fifth, who chanced to touch the ear, said, "Even the blindest man can tell what this resembles most. Deny the fact who can, this marvel of an elephant is very like a fan." The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope, than seizing on the swinging tail that fell beneath his scope, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a rope." And so these men of Hindustan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. So each man in this little verse describes truth, and they describe it according to their very own, very limited perspective of life. The small part of it that they had been able to touch, and in turn, very boldly and very incorrectly said, "This is life. This is the elephant. This is the truth." Well, I'm sure that we've all seen an elephant. And I'm sure that we can all see that there are many parts to an elephant that don't resemble each other. But they absolutely make up the elephant. And this beautiful, magnificent creature that all of us, from the time we're little bitty kids, adores and admires for its size and beauty. And we know about how an elephant remembers. And all of these parts of this great animal are greater because of all of the things that an elephant does and every component of it. So, and I'll read actually verbatim from some of my notes. It says, "I'm sure that each one of us has seen an elephant. We believe that we know what an elephant is, and we can even smile at the absurdity of the observations of these blind men, based upon the singular observations of a many-faceted object. But on the other hand, can we not recognize within ourselves the same pattern and being guilty of the same pattern of thought? Do we not too often go about life knowing what we know, and again too often making judgments about people and the world around us, while truly only ourselves, seeing the world as the Apostle Paul describes, through a glass darkly? Do we not make assumptions about people, about politics, about the judgments or decisions of others, about the worth and the value of the people around us? Do we not make those very incomplete and often misleading and yes, even absurd personal observations? Too often the truths that we tell ourselves and the world around us are merely fragments of the truth, like the tusk and the tail and the ears of this elephant. And sometimes they're not really even the truth at all. So I wasn't asked to speak about truth today. As a matter of fact, when I got here in red on the agenda, it says that I'm supposed to speak about growth and vision of Upshur County TRLP asset mapping.
That's kind of... Yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad, because I had a chance, and I'm not a very good extemporaneous speaker. I'm a good extemporaneous rambler. And I don't want to do that because that doesn't give value to anybody's life. So I brainstormed real quick, and then when Ronnie spoke, and I thought, you know what? Actually, what I did right very much is absolutely that. Because as I go about life seeking for truth, the only way I can understand truth in the world around me is that I'm going to steal the line from him. I've got to go out, and I've got to know and meet every single person that I can possibly know and listen, not talk. I know what I can do or what I can't do, but I don't know what you can do and what you can do. But you all have value, and you all have a part of this community, and you all are loved. And I need to know you, and I need to love you, and together we can build something wonderful for Gilmer, Texas. So I in turn invite every one of you, to go out in the world that we live in and set a spell. And set a spell and come back and bring back your assets and those assets that you find. And let's make this a wonderful place. Not the place that you read about in the paper as something ugly and bad and contentious, but something that you read about because they're doing something to build up people. They're doing something to make this world a better place. Because that's what we are. And that's who you are. Thank you.
And see, I just kind of put the global topic on there because I knew he would be addressing that. One thing that the Upshur County Citispell Coalition is wanting to do is they're trying to go out and instead of just saying, hey, how are you? I mean, don't even say that to me because I'm like, do you really want to know? I mean, that how are you is such a silly phrase that we just use so often in passing, and people are like, do you want an answer to that, or do you want me to just go, hey, fine, how you doing? You know, I'd rather, we need to change our way of communicating and really take the time to sit a spell, and we need to thank Ronnie's grandfather for forcing him to sit a spell for so many years and teaching him that value of building relationships. Now, the one thing that the Upshur County Citispell Coalition wanted to do was work with the Big Brothers and go into the neighborhood and sit a spell with them. They are having, do you want to tell us about your fish fry?
Yeah.
Because they were wanting us to come and we can come sit a spell.
I'm Tyrone Ford and I'm a member of the Big Brothers, and we'll be having our annual community-wide fish fry on the 29th of this month. And it's free, and it's just to pay back to the community what they've been doing for us.
And what
Give us
time?
a donation. I don't know what time. It probably start about 11 because it's going to be until the fish is gone. So it probably start about 11 until it's gone.
And where's it at?
It's going to be over at the Gilmer Avenue Street Park,
Okay, Avenue.
over on Vinegar Hill.
Okay.
They'll be at the Avenue Street Park, and everyone is welcome, and come out and
Bring along
sit a
your
spell.
sit.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So we now have that, and we can put that on our calendars. It's already on mine. So 11 o'clock, come sit a spell and have some fish and until it's gone. And I want to thank everyone so much for coming. And if you'd like to stay and visit with some of the people and talk to them, you can ask them that point that was on the agenda of what servant leadership means to you. And then also, I did have the puzzle pieces, and I'm just going to show them to you really quickly because I can do that in 30 seconds. The different puzzle pieces are, let me take the one out in the back. Okay, there's social, and this is all when we're looking at asset mapping. When think about in the community, there's social parts of our community, there's political parts of our community, there are financial parts of our community, there are things that we have built here, there are things that are natural in our county, in our community, there are cultural parts, but the one thing, if you look at this puzzle piece, all the parts connect to this middle puzzle piece. Thank you, Shaniqua. Puzzle piece, everything connects to the humans and the individual assets in our community. So if we don't build this trust and build this relationship within our community, there will continue to be some kind of disconnect. And we don't want that disconnect here in Upshur County. So thank you all. Feel free to talk, pick the brains of our people that got awards today or their certificates today, and thank you so much for coming. You can stop recording.